Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea Tranquility. Welcome to day 10 of our look at our favorite rock guitar teams in the history of rock and roll. Favorite guitar teams. Guitar teams could be two, could be three. As long as they made some great music together. Could be two lead players, could be a dynamic rhythm player and a killer lead player. Maybe it's three great lead players. Who knows? Or two great lead players and a rhythm guy. Whatever the configurations are. These are our 31 favorites because, of course, there's 31 days in October. We're going to take a look at a terrific tandem here. Two guys, both who had fairly extensive backgrounds before they joined this band for the debut, their full-length debut in 1978. And there are many guitar configurations in this group. I had many to choose from. This is one of my favorite bands of all time. But I think, when I really think about it, the best guitar pairing is the one that lasted the longest, although, quite frankly, the current one might be the longest running. But I think that this particular one, the first guitar duo from Whitesnake, Mickey Moody and Bernie Marsden, that's who I'm going with. Of course, the band is Whitesnake, right? Starting out with the Trouble album in 1978. Let's see. Here they are right here. There's Bernie Marsden. There's Mickey Moody with the hat. Can you see them, right? Cool band right there. Mostly bluesy rock players, right? Of course, Mickey Moody came from Snafu and Juicy Lucy. Bernie Marsden played in Wild Turkey, played briefly in UFO. He played in Babe Ruth, right? So they had other bands they were playing with before David Coverdale kind of found them both and scooped them up and brought them into this band. But lots of classic songs. The Whitesnake of the early days, very different from the Whitesnake of the late 80s and even today, whereas this was much more of a standard blues rock band. Of course, David Coverdale, coming from Deep Purple, decided to put together his own band. Coverdale, deep down inside, is much more of a blues, R&B, funk fan. That's kind of the music that he really likes. But of course, he realized, I just came from one of the biggest heavy music bands in the world. Whitesnake's got to be kind of heavy, but it's going to be really bluesy, just like the music that I really like. So the first album, Trouble, got some great songs on here. Take Me With You, Lie Down, it's great stuff. Nighthawk, a lot of really good songs on here. It will continue to get better from there. Got Lovehunter, of course. Lovehunters from 1979 with that classic album cover that my wife loves so much. Walking in the Shadow of the Blues, Medicine Man, title track, We Wish You Well, really cool little short kind of song. I wonder if they would have fleshed out We Wish You Well and made it like a 3-minute long song, if that couldn't have been a hit for them, because that's a really catchy song. Mean Business, Outlaw, and these albums, the music of Whitesnake at the time, not all that different from what a lot of the southern rock bands were doing in the mid-late 70s. It's just good, bluesy, groovy rock music, but from a bunch of British guys, right? So lots of dueling guitar solos. Again, both guys, very distinct styles. I think Moody was maybe the flashier player. He also played slide guitar, maybe the little faster player, whereas Marsden was much more the lyrical, melodic guy, and definitely could play some mean, slow blues, right? But both guys could do the rock quite well. They work really well together, and their styles were distinctive, but not all that different. With some of these bands we're going to be talking about, and some of these guitar teams we're going to be talking about this month, are so different sounding from each other. These guys, they have their distinct styles, but they complement each other very well. And they're not that far removed from each other, because I think they both have very similar backgrounds. So you got Lovehunter, right? Great stuff on there. Then you got the killer live album, Live in the Heart of the City. Great stuff from them on there. Of course, Ready and Willin'. Ready and Willin' was from 1980. Okay. Great album there. Fool for Your Lovin'. The original Fool for Your Lovin' is on here. It's better on here. What else we got? Sweet Talker. Great song. Title track Ready and Willing is great. Blind Man is great. Excellent album. Come and Get It. Come and Get It was 1981. Again, title track, really great. Don't Break My Heart Again. One of my favorite tracks from this era of Whitesnake. So good. Wine, Women, and Song is fun. Child of Babylon, really good. Hit and Run, excellent. And of course, you got Saints and Sinners from 1982. This would be the last album of this configuration, right, with Marsden and Moody. Of course, Mickey would hang in the band for one more album for the Slide It In album in 1984. However, right after the album was finished, he and Coverdale had a little spat, and he was out of the band to be replaced by Mr. John Sykes. Also, Mel Galley was in the band at the time from Trapeze. Sykes came in. They kind of remixed the album for release here in the States. So you have the one album which has Galley and Moody. That's the UK version. The US version that came out a couple months later has basically all of Mickey Moody's stuff taken out, John Sykes' stuff put in for a little extra oomph. And so you have these two amazing, it's a great album no matter which way you look at it, but two very different versions of it. They're released a couple months apart. But yeah, the last album with Moody and Marsden is Saints and Sinners, which is another terrific album, man. Young Blood, Bloody Luxury, Victim of Love, the original version's on here. Here I Go Again, the original version's on here. Rock and Roll Angels, good little bit of boogie on some of these albums too. Most of these are produced by Martin Birch, right? So you get that kind of similar sound. Yeah, great stuff. Really overlooked guitar team here, I think, because especially here in the States, because I think most people here in the U.S. and North America really got to know Whitesnake from Slide It In and on. So a lot of this older stuff, and specifically the work of Moody and Marsden, little unknown to many people here. They may have heard an album or two here, but I know over in the UK, all my friends in the UK, these are the albums that really, this is the real Whitesnake, right? So it depends on when you came in, what you listen to, right? I like both, because I grew up with Slide It In and onwards, but because I love the band so much, I went backwards fairly quickly and just ingested all of this stuff, and I really like a lot of this stuff as well. I think this is just great, because I like bluesy hard rock like this. Can't beat it. So there you have it, everybody. Whitesnake, Bernie Marsden, Mickey Moody. Those are my choices for today. That's my guitar team for today. So let us know what you think of those two guys down in the comments below, as well as your pick for day 10. And visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. All together, all the damn time. Please hit that like button before you go. Very, very important to help us out with the YouTube algorithm. And stay tuned tonight. We got the Hudson Valley Squares back at you tonight. We're going to look at our favorite 5 hard rock and metal albums from the great year that was 1981. And then stay tuned tomorrow for In the Prog Seat. We will be looking at our 5 favorite prog albums from 1972. 2 terrific years in heavy music as well as prog music. So stay tuned for the next 2 nights. Lots of fun, lots of lists being put together. We'll see who picks some stuff the same, who pulls out some gems that nobody else thought of. That'll be happening tonight, tomorrow night. So till then, I'm Pete Pardo. We'll see you then, everybody, and tomorrow morning with another favorite rock guitar team. Take care. Bye-bye.